So how do we define reproductive health? Reproductive health according to WHO, according to World Health Organizations, they define it as the state of complete well-being of all aspect of the reproductive system. Yeah, all aspect it could be physical also, emotional or mental, and behavioral and social. If the reproductive systems is well in all these aspects, physically, emotionally, behaviorally, and socially, then it can be considered as a reproductive health. Physically, if the reproductive system, male reproductive system or female reproductive system is functioning properly physically, then then we cannot consider them to be a reproductive health. It has to be emotionally also. Tuna emotionally bangchida na hitheidia ichiale. Example bangla taleng if there is a couple no pakhat tale bang maiten ta hawlo leo kha I bangchivak de hi lawale I bangchi di chalung khamdi we why pen khale it will comes under emotional aspect a hi lawale couple dang khat tale why den bang ta hiam reproduce helo ta hiam bang ne thelo hi ama wale kha I lung kham na hiam hi lawale alung nom lo now hiam di why de pen kha it can be considered as emotional aspect, mental aspect behavioral aspect for example in female at the onset of puberty or adolescence, girls begins to have their menstrual cycle in there are some communities can menstrual cycle they are considered it could be considered as a behavioral aspect. It is not healthy. So social includes the society as a whole. Reproductive health can be defined as the state of complete well-being of all the aspects, including physical, emotional, behavioral, social of the reproductive system. India one very important thing would be India is the first country in the whole world to initiate programs and plans. Bangding India 10 programs to plans initiate to attain improve reproductive health of the society. National level India first country to initiate programs. Why a programs initiate they have initiated this program first at the year 1951. A program in family planning kitchen family planning penin objectives to check the birth rate or to check the high birth rate and to attain improve reproductive health of the society. Family planning it has been modified over the years and it has been improved, and now it is known as the RCH, which is reproductive and child health care program. India first country to initiate the programs family planning in order to check the high birth rate and to attain improve reproductive health in the year 1951. It has been improved and improvised and it has been improved and modified into RCH, which is a reproductive and child health care program. India in improve. How do we know that India has attained the improved reproductive health? It can be known by smaller families, then we can know that India is attaining the improved reproductive health. If there is better detections and cure for STDs. STDs iti janina sexually transmitted diseases ahia, those diseases which can be transmitted from one person to another person through sexual intercourse. Through sexual intercourse. Why if there is better detections and cure for these types of diseases, then we can know that it is attaining improved reproductive health. Athumna, if there is overall increase in the medical facilities. If there is improved medical facilities, then we can know that India is attaining improved reproductive health. Ajiale bangzaka reproductive health ising pian poi mo ai chiale. Why reproductive health reading or studying reproductive health is important ichiale? It is important because in the world there are so many issues tampi ominjin. Why issues te pian kha I address te medina, we have to study reproductive health. Why issues te bangbanga ichiale? First the issues is overpopulations. India, as we know, India penha second populous country here. In a recent year, China penha the most populous country in the world here. Why penha India in overpass na ithema kum bangza yang zo nunchanga. So our first issues is overpopulations. Due to overpopulations, India has started a program which is known as family planning. Family planning, it will help in controlling the populations, the increase in populations. The next issues is next class next video detail discuss introduction next female feticide. Female feticides there are some couples can agay jangwa anaw penka a sex determined thebe pasalya numeya chi thebe why penka numehi janga abortions hi zelo. This is also some kinds of social and behavioral aspects of reproductive health. If it is a girl child, if the sex of that fetus is a girl, then they will abort or they will kill. Or female feticide or female infanticide female infanticide after birth, then they will kill her. Next, high maternal mortality rate, which is also known as MMR. High maternal mortality rate during delivery. It is high. That is also another issue of reproductive health. It could be because of the medical facilities or because of some internal factors. The death of women, female due to delivery is very high. This is another issue. Next, it is unwanted pregnancy. Unwanted pregnancies it could arise due to many reasons. Reasons to arise leading engine. Tade nailo pia bagay khaji tema aite hong hiding engine aite penka bangchidana avoid TDI chale by using certain contraceptives by using condoms and also so as to avoid unwanted pregnancies. Next STDs. Then in the again hinta sexually transmitted diseases sexually transmitted diseases awareness spread because there are so many diseases which can be transmitted from one person to another person through sexual intercourse. Why this is we need to give awareness to the people or to the society so that we can be aware of it and we can prevent or avoid such diseases. Then issues of reproductive health bangsa yami and kina tuna continue dinga problems issues ki bangya problems to strategies in subding problems ama sapena kha there is a lack of awareness. Bang awareness people do not know about the medical facilities which is provided by the government. Why they ki aware lo why zaka ki thailo. A first problem here, lack of awareness it leads to populations explosion. Then overpopulations populations explosions there is high increase in populations. Increase in populations it is because of lack of awareness. Populations explosion, if there is increase in populations there will be it will lead to poverty. It will lead to poverty. It will lead to unemployment. Poverty it will give rise to crimes, robbery, rape case, murder, increase. If there is populations explosions, then high birth rate will be there, and there will be reduced health care and welfare of especially women. Next problems it is the illegal abortions. Danina phallo dana abort female feticide. Common ma India female infanticide Next STD, sexually transmitted diseases. We are not aware about those diseases which can be transmitted from one person to another person through sexual intercourse. It could be the reasons. What could be the strategies for coming up with all these problems? A strategy first we need to create awareness create awareness create firstly we need to create awareness about the sexually transmitted diseases. Bang disease ki transmit like hepatitis B, gonorrhea, HIV, which is very common awareness using of or the availabilities of contraceptives. Contraceptives can to prevent fertilizations. If we prevent fertilizations occurs new individuals on the form so there won't be any unwanted pregnancies or unwanted child. In order to prevent fertilizations and unwanted pregnancies, we use contraceptives. Availability awareness menstruation. We need to get seminar here, project here, awareness about menstruations especially to female individuals, because it occurs only in female. Menstruation we need to focus that it is a normal process. Communities can menstrual cycle muntuama koi chi bangma awareness this has nothing to do with being unclean or dirty. It is just a normal physiological process which is taking place in female body. Awareness people in general arts it is assisted reproductive technique assisted reproductive techniques. There are some couples who can reproduce very well. Why couple te pen kha if they have more reproductions ta tam nei lo ta le hoi lo injin. There are some couples who cannot reproduce ta nei the lo why dia le hoi tuan lo their reproductive health is not good. Why zaka they need ARTs, which is assisted reproductive techniques. I they kha all in I discussed dinga ani na we have to educate the people. Bangchidana educate dichale. There are many programs which is taken up by the government as well as the non-government organizations. Sex educations in school has to be done. Sex educations in school curriculum. School curriculum sex educations include because we talk about disections, we talk about respirations, we talk about all those different topics. Sex related problems. Sex educations. When we talk about reproductive system, then it becomes very chiang chipama atil bang it discuss pen to hong ki bang non lo wai saka wai pen kha is now pang te wai bana people in general are educated so that we can discuss such topic openly. Audio visual chi tele om dinga wai bana print newspaper kongale zata wai tung to nale awareness pin kha spread the wai bana to like internet media wai ma hi na wai tung to nale awareness the kha spread the wai bana a third na hi le ya lama ko hangel dinga a third strategies a hi le we should increase the marriageable age. Kitian thekna pung pen kha suktam de tua pen kha girls de pen kha 18 years achin jama kha kiting thema boys de pen kha pasal de pen kha when they attain the age of 21 years they are in the marriageable age kai pen kha in suk apung pen kha suktam de so that we can control populations. Ela bang and then kumsom le kya le Nazolo by Mani it is which bangakiting 17, 16, 15 akiting it is illegal done in a paloma 18 the girl has to attain 18 years so that she can marry and the boys has to attain 21 years so that he can marry. A fourth point na dinga very important and we should spread awareness about the ill effects of increased populations or overpopulations. Populations atam lo tale if there is increase in populations a ill effects de bangang hidi a chi te pen kha mipi te hi lawale student te thi sakha ang to mo te ma bang chi de chale there will be limitations of what? Limitations of natural resources is jamina food that we get from plants, animals, it will be limited. Why bana land itian na di inti bang le hong ki limit ton de why bana petrol, coal, minerals le hong ton de the ill effects if there is overpopulations why they been awareness there so that we can control populations in our country. Reproductive health maya to na human populations in dinga human populations human populations ben ite isam na dinga kha demography ite angai dinga demography bangchi na jale demography ben kha it is the statistical study of human populations ahia hai ben ite chan sem na dingin kha census ite angai dinga census ite chan na e power gen ti gan bang kisim na human populations te ita state ami bang sa ma hi dole countries ngami bang sa ma world ami bang sa ma chi kisim na be kha census ti na here it can be defined as the procedure of systematically collecting informations about human populations. Demography iti jangina is statistical study of human populations here. Census iti jangina, it is a process or it is a procedure of systematically collecting information about human populations here. Hai census penka India it is conducted or it is collected every 10 years kumsom dan tenga census kilazia. Tunaya, a recent pen, a latest census kilapian, it is conducted in 2011. 2011 a latest census ki conduct here India a next adi pen to 2020 hina kumnon damale kumnon janga census kilathang de. According to 2011 census, 2011 census kilapian dumzu yaka India populations it is around 1.2 billion khat balma. In India sunga it is most populated state. Mi atam na pen UP Uttar Pradesh Hinjin the least populated state atom pen. Mi atom pian na a state ahiya Sikkim. Ngai pian kha according to 2011 census ahiya ngai pian kha ki hyang mai thei mo kumnon chang khonga most populated pian kha UP le an hinon lo mai thei hi lo ale hi lai mai thei this populated pian kha Sikkim le hi lo hinon lo mai thei hi lai mai thei ngai pian kha according to 2011 census ahiya tun bang world populations and talenga Hovil a populations bangsa omachi and talenga 1900 world populations penka 2 billion hinjin 2000 sangni 6 billion hinjin kumsa khata 4 billion saki khangma 2001 census kila penaka world populations penka it crossed 7 billion to 8 billion ji la khong hita mai thima world population is iatale hilawal Indian population iatale kha khanghan ma Indian why pelka reason why there is increase in populations bangsa ka populations pen ani chi ha increase ha chi iatale a reason bangsa yang ko handle suka why de khat khati ni endinga a first reason na dingina better health services ko hangela due to the medical science advancement due to the advancements in medical science in science the I advance la luat tak zaka kha medicines tom ki bol engine hospital hoi tak doctor hoi tak om zaka nidanga kha but death rate pen kha nidanga it tamai jo death rate pen tam engine as compared to birth rate hilile to kha death rate is less death rate tong bangzaka death rate tong mai ji ale because the lifespan of human being a lifespan pen kha it is increasing why zaka death rate kha tong nidang laya kha I medical science kong hospital medicines doctor ji te kong ahoi ma kha pite pute hun laya chemai ni why hun laya kha death rate kha sang engine to din mulaya ta lekha due to the advancements in medical sciences and all death rate kha hong tom ta miss si pen kha mortality rate pen hong tom in chin hai pen bangza ka to mai jale because lifespans of human beings is increasing and next pen kha better living conditions to lal din mun pen kha conditions living conditions pen kha hoi izo ni dang sang nik le tat bang le hoi izo I health ta dia hoi balance diet ji kong ki thei ta jin yang ne leng hoi de ji kong ki thei ta jin mai za ka our living conditions is better mai za ka there is increase in populations next lower in or reduce in IMR IMR means infant mortality rate. Infant mortality rate is janina infant is janina namek apyang tungte by the pian kha a death rate pian kha it is decreasing. Now make up yang teka asitom. Why zaga? This could be one of the reasons why there is increase in populations. And next, a reduce in MMR. MMR is maternal mortality rate. Maternal is those female or those women who give birth to an infant. Now, mortality rate, a death rate, it is decreasing. This could be one of the reasons why there is increase in populations. Why birth rate, it is lower or it is reduced. Birth rate apyang kheza tom le a death rate penle ya again hisamo a death rate penle tom a hizaka there is increase in populations apyang kya le tom asile tom le due to better health services, living conditions, reducing IMR and reducing MMR. Because of all these reasons, there is increase in populations. Behind 10 reasons there is a massive increase in populations. Why it is termed as populations explosions or explosive. In order to check the growth of populations in India introduction nale again hinta programs hilo plans tam people jun haite laka programs hol khatuka family planning ki chiya family planning penin kha slogan khatne jin why slogan pen kha bangai chiale vai pau hiya hamdo हमारा दो के चीज़ में है पेन का हम दो we two चिकना हिंजन sorry we TWO2 पेन में हमारा दो चिकना R2 that means couple खातेना नुपा खातेना तानी ने इधर चिकना slogan पेन का it was introduced by the family planning. Tuna contraceptions indinga contraceptions bangchina IGL contraceptions it is preventing pregnancy. The methods of preventing pregnancy is known as contraceptives. Contraceptives the methods which is used to prevent pregnancy is known as contraceptives, and contraceptions it is preventing pregnancy. There are different methods of contraceptions. Methods of contraceptions it can be natural methods barrier methods Iuds, which is intrauterine devices methods chemical methods chemical methods in the form of tablets or pills surgical methods surgical methods it is also known as sterilization methods detail in what should an ideal contraceptive should be? Ideal contraceptives it should be easily available. The availabilities of such methods should be easy. Like if it is natural methods, availability access easy. The barrier it should be easily available. It should be effective and it should be reversible. Reversible then surgical explain it should be reversible. It should have no side effects. A female body a male body side effects on the level of side effects should be very low or it should be very less. Ideal it should there should be no side effects, but even if there is, it should be very low or less. Tuna first na pena natural methods in mas pending natural methods it is done naturally by studying the physiological functions of the reproductive systems of the male and the female, especially the female. Okay, pinka I atom kahun kendi nga first point na dipena ka natural methods of contraceptions is by avoiding ovulations or fertilizations period. Previous chapter reproductive system isim hintaa, male reproductive system to female reproductive system isim hintaa. Why chapter menstrual cycle isim hawa menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle in order to use these natural methods of avoiding ovulations and fertilizations, that menstrual cycle can take some apoy mo dinga numite penin kha khatenga period ki lein why period pen menstrual cycle it is for about 28 days for most females. Me dang hen khat 29 day om thai mai thi dinga le Tangpua kha 28 days here. Period na ni masak ni pen first day niya ki padana sim ding jen 14 days ni pen kha yai ni pen kha ovulations here. Ovulations iti changin bangchi na ai jale. During ovulations what happens is that the ovary the ovary penin kha egg or ovum pen release dima 14 days ovulations will occur. Ovulations iti changa female ovaries tena egg or ovum release. The egg pen it can be fertilized by the sperm within this egg or ovum which is released in the 14 days of the menstrual cycles. They may be in the fallopian tubes for around some days, 14 to 17 days. 15 year ovulations 14 to 17 days sexual intercourse your egg will be released during this period, 14 to 17 days around this period. So sexual intercourse egg penha it will get fertilized with the sperm and you'll get pregnant. So in order to avoid pregnancy, pregnant low nahi zaka 14 up 17 days you should abstain or avoid sexual intercourse. It is also known as safe period to have sexual intercourse. 14 to 17 days from the starting of the menstrual cycle. Sexual intercourse your eggs will get fertilized with the sperm and you'll be pregnant. Other than these days, if you have sexual intercourse, safe period during this egg is not released. Egg release even if sperm enters the female reproductive organs, if there is no egg it will not get fertilized and you will not get pregnant. Safe period sexual intercourse 14 to 17 days sexual intercourse in order to avoid pregnancy. This is natural method. Just you have to study the physiological process of your menstrual cycles and studying the complete structures of the reproductive system, male as well as female. Second point avoiding or abstain from sperm depositions in the vagina. If you want to prevent pregnancy, then you can avoid or you can abstain from sexual intercourse or from depositions of sperm in the vagina. A third lactational amenorrhea. Lactational amenorrhea it is seen in lactating women. Numei now nasal pet te pian kha I now noi breastfeeding abol lai pian wa kha during that period when there is breastfeeding of the baby, during that period, that particular woman, they have no menstrual cycle. Now noi piak sunga numeite na kha period kinilo mo. During that period, you can have sexual intercourse because it will since there is no menstrual cycles, ovulations will not occur. If ovulations is not occurring, an egg will not be released. If egg is not released, even if you have sexual intercourse, or if the sperm enters the vagina or the fallopian tubes, there won't be any egg to get fertilized with. Maizaka, you will not get pregnant. So during lactational amenorrhea also, you can still have sexual intercourse and you'll not get pregnant. Asiale lactational amenorrhea bangchi na achi bang ki dong the na yai pian kha it is seen only in lactating women. Numei now me zo te na now noi tui pe lai wai te pe na kha they do not have menstrual cycle. So ovulations will not occur and egg will not be released. So even if the sperm enters, there won't be any fertilizations and there won't be zygote formations. A second methods of contraceptions are barrier methods akitia. Hey barrier methods penka physical methods here. Hey methods penaha the sperm and the egg. The male gametes and the female gametes are prevented from meeting. Akifuse lo na dia, so that these two honki meet lo na dia, or let's say honki fusions occur lo na dia, we are using barriers so that male gametes and female gametes will not fuse together. Why barriers? Dia bang bangai chi ale ya e jingkon galinga e na condoms. Condoms is one barrier which is used for preventing the fusions of male gametes and female gametes. Hey condom penha, it is available for both male and female. Pasala dili omdi nga numeya dili omdi. Hey condoms te penha, they are made up of thin rubbers akibola here, and it also consists of a latex sheet. The most common brand of condoms is a brand common pian ahiale nirot akichia. Hey condoms te pian ha, it is available for both male and female individuals. Hey condoms pian ha, they can be since they can be self-inserted, asang tutien ka amaw lemawa aki tunte iba hisaka. This is it has advantages over other methods because this gives privacy to the user because it can be self-inserted. Here condoms penka not only to prevent from pregnancy. It has other advantages also. Why advantage pen bangai chiale? It helps in preventing or it helps in avoiding the transmissions of sexually transmitted diseases. Sexually transmitted diseases is disease which can spread through sexual intercourse here. When we use condoms penin bangai chiale, it not only help us in preventing pregnancy, but it also helps in preventing such diseases as sexually transmitted diseases like HIV, hepatitis B, Why bana ani na cervical caves cervical caves or diaphragms. It is available only for female. Cervical caves, diaphragms, they are made of rubbers. It has to be inserted in the vagina of the female individuals so that it will block the entry of sperm, so that fertilizations will not occur and pregnancy will be avoided. Next methods of contraceptions next method Iuds or it is also known as intrauterine devices. Yay intrauterine devices pen kha it is a kind of structures ti khata hiya why a structures pen to atwang to ma hi dinga that structures was implanted, it was inserted inside the uterus of the female reproductive organs. Uterus pen kha ki implanted ya hi lora ki inserted din why structures pen why pen in bang hi dia ichiale why a structures uterus ma ki implant pen in kha it will delay pregnancy or it will help in preventing pregnancy. Achile bangzaka here Iuds admin boltang Piuds in order to delay pregnancies or in order to space children. Tun bang couple hen khat ta kizin watam pine white ya de banga I atati hongki halado na dinga they use this Iuds. Here method penka it is the most widely accepted methods of contraceptions in India. Methods then in introduction there are natural methods, barrier methods, chemical methods, surgical methods, methods India are the most widely accepted one is Iuds methods of contraceptions. Here penka it is used only in female the structures, the IUD structures has to be inserted into the uterus of the female body. This is used for only female. There are three categories of IUDs. IUDs penka category thumina hen theidinga amasala pena haya non-medicated IUDs kahanjia. Examples of non-medicated IUDs would be lipes loop akichia. Hey penka it was introduced in the year 1962. Hey loop penka it acts as a barrier. Hey loops penka it is made of plastic akibol hinjin. Bana it is an S shape here, somewhat like this. A structure is penka, it is something like this. It is inserted or implanted inside the uterus of the female body, and this will helps in preventing fertilizations of the egg and the sperm. And next copper releasing ions copper releasing IUDs IUDs pening ka it will contains copper ions. Examples ka it is CUT copper T chinama. Examples dang ahiale copper 7 dehidina waibana multi-load 375. All these are examples of copper releasing IUDs. Yay copper T penka it is T shape. Hey lipes loop penka ya S dandel shape hinjin. Hey copper T bangzaka kichiale because the structures is T shape. Why zaka it is known as copper T. Yeah, copper 7 penka it is also likewise 7 abat zaka it is known as copper 7. Hey copper tepen kha this what here copper ions tepen kha bang bolai jale when copper ions is introduced into the uterus of the female body, what this copper ions would do is that it will reduce the mobility of sperm. It sperm tepen kha it can move. It can swim here. They have sperm structures through the banghilen, something like this. It has a tail. Hey, tail through they can swim. Egg pen and taleng, they are spherical in shape. They are stationary. The male has to swim to the egg so that fertilizations can occur. Hey, copper ions pen in banga here. Hey, sperm aki move pen a swim pen a mobility. Hey, pen a reduce engine. If the sperm mobility is reduced, then this cannot swim to the egg. If this sperm cannot swim to the egg, then fertilizations will not occur, thereby preventing pregnancy. Next, copper ions also helps in increasing the mortality of sperm. Copper ions in Banghia it increase the mortality of sperm. That means before the sperm reach the egg, these copper ions would kill the sperm, and thereby fertilizations will not occur and pregnancies would be pregnancies will not occur. Phagocytosis of sperms phagocytosis of sperm means it is the killing of the sperm. A third hormone releasing Iuds hormone releasing Iuds. Examples LNG20 here. The other examples would be progesterone. Here, hormone releasing Iuds being bangon when this Iuds, which contains some hormones, is released in the uterus of the female body, what will happens is that this hormone releasing Iuds, the uterus it will block the implantations of the zygote. These hormones will make the uterus unfit for implantations. Human reproductions are when the male gametes and the female gametes fuse together to form a zygote. When zygote is formed, zygote form in the uterus of the female body. This has to be implanted in the lining. If implantations is not occurring, then the zygote cannot further develop into the embryo and the fetus and so on. Implantations is very important. What this hormone releasing Iuds will do is that even if the fertilizations took place, the zygote which is formed cannot get implanted. So pregnancies will not occur in this case. Next methods of contraceptions chemical methods chemical methods it is also known as oral contraceptions or contraceptives. Oral mainly it is taken in the mouth. It's inject oral contraceptives chemical methods it is methods used to prevent pregnancy by using some chemicals. Chemicals are pregnancy prevent why methods chemical methods spermicidal methods spermicidal methods it is a tablet or it is a jelly jelly it is not solid liquid like more liquid than the anoisim or it can be in the form of tablet also. Chemicals, it is made up of chemicals like lactic acid or potassium manganate, or it may also include citric acid. Tablets it kills the sperm. Uterus sperm bangon lut hitale uterus ek release janga sperm pen hong ki uterus hong ki release janga tablet inject chemicals te pen sperm pen that dingunjin it will kill the sperms, and even if the egg is released and even if the sperm is entering the uterus, the chemicals would kill the sperm, so fertilizations will not occur and pregnancies will not occur. And next hormonal pills hormonal pills pills tablets tablets it is made up of some kinds of hormones. Combinations pills combinations pills because there are two different types of hormones which are combined together to form these pills or tablets. Hormones progesterone and estrogen. Progesterone to estrogen pills it is also known as combinations pills, and since both this progesterone and estrogens are hormones, they are also known as hormonal pills. When a female eats this pill, what happens is that it inhibits these hormones will inhibit the secretion of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Here pinka reproductive human reproductions menstrual cycle progesterone to estrogen peninka it will stop the secretions of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Bagzaga FSH to LH pinka inhibits ngaya, a secretion pen inhibits ngaya jale, because if these two, follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, the level is increased, a level tamle bangchidia jale, ovulations would take place. Ovulations would be there. If ovulations is there, then if the sperm enters, then it will get fertilized and the females will get pregnant. Hormonal pills if one woman eats these hormonal pills, then it contains progesterones and estrogens. Progesterone and estrogens, it stops the secretions of follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. If this two is stopped, secretions stop then the level of these two would be low. If the level of follicle stimulating hormones and luteinizing hormones is low, then ovulations would stop. Ovulations will not take place, or let's say ovulations is stopped. If ovulations is stopped, then even if that person is undergoing sexual intercourse, then fertilizations will not take place. Fertilizations will not take place, and hence it will not result in pregnancy. A third na pinaka implants. Implants it is a small needle-like structures, or it is a small needle flat-like structures which is implanted under the skin. Needle-like structures under the skin, it will be introduced under the skin, or it will be implanted under the skin. Implants it will release hormones in the blood, which will helps in avoiding pregnancy. It occurs for a longer durations as compared to the other methods. If you're performing or if you're following these methods, implants then you don't have to take all these hormonal pills, tablets, and all. The structures will be implanted under the skin, and that will help you block the entering of the sperm, or it will helps you in avoiding fertilizations to take place, and you'll not get pregnant. The next methods of contraceptions surgical methods. Surgical methods it is also known as sterilizations. It can be for males. Surgical methods it can be also for females. Males a vast difference or a sperm duct which is a tube-like structures where which is connected to the testis. A testis connect by a testis penis sperm produce a sperm produce vast difference my a vast difference it is cut, or it is ligate, and it is tied. A vast difference a sperm duct ligate ki cut engine ki hit engine. Here process it is known as vasectomy, so that the sperm would not be released through the penis. A sperm penis apata release this is one methods of contraceptions then reversible reversible the contraceptives will be considered ideal if it is reversible. Vast difference it is cut and it is tied. Suppose if the individuals individuals then this can be rejoin so that normal reproductions can take place again. Ya a female te pena kha bangji ai cha le female te a pen kha a fallopian tube pen kha it is ligated or it is cut and it is tied, and this process is known as tubectomy. Tubectomy is when the fallopian tubes is ligated and cut in females, individuals, so that to prevent the egg to fertilize. Tunbang if the fallopian ovary the fallopian tubes is something like this. Ovary egg to produce engine egg it will travel to the fallopian tubes and fertilizations would be taking place here. If the fallopian tubes is cut bang hitale egg it will not fertilize, or of a sperm it will not enter the ovary. In order to prevent pregnancy or fertilizations of the egg and the sperm, this method is done. In male, it is known as vasectomy, and in female, it is known as tubectomy. Vasectomy, you need to understand the vast difference, or the sperm that is cut or ligated. In tubectomy, the fallopian tubes is ligated or it is cut. Vasectomy, vast difference is cut, and in tubectomy, which is in females, the fallopian tubes is cut. There's one method which is also known as castration. There is one method which is known as castration. Castration it is permanently removing the testes. Removal of testes which produce the sperm. If the testis is removed, a testis can remove, the sperm will not be produced. If sperm is not produced, then fertilizations can never take place. In women also, numeyale ominjin ovarectomy. Ovarectomy is where the ovary is removed. Ovary removed, then egg will not be produced. So if we have a sexual intercourse also, egg to produce fertilizations will never happen, and pregnancy will never occur. Methods of contraceptions in order to conclude this, a reason the first reason is to prevent pregnancy. Why do we have to prevent pregnancy? Personal reasons. There are many unwanted pregnancies. Abortions apol khaklo changa anangik ti deilawunjin pai jibang atamboy mo. So in order to prevent pregnancy, we are studying all these methods of contraceptions. The other methods, the other reasons could be in couples. Inupatiya kha ta akihaldew ta kha hong kizing ta kizing lo ai ni changa kha. It can be the health of the mother as well as the health of the baby is anu health to ata health adipena kha hoilo thi ahi zaka I ta pen akihal sangnadia. All these methods we are studying all these methods, or all these methods are there because of that. A second reason ahiale in order to check populations growth. India bangi atale populations hangha luanjin. In order to check populations growth, we are studying all these methods. Abana ik discuss ding wa hiale amniocentesis ahia. Amniocentesis is changin bangchi na ai chiale. It is a prenatal diagnostic technique here. Hey pina kha now ni pin kha apian ma a study bol pen ma hai bangzaka amniocentesis pen ki hi jale it is used to detect any defects in the unborn baby why now ngek apyang nai lo pena defects bang hiam om kha yam chi why detect na di hiam a hi lo wale why the na dia hai technique pen kha ki jang ma if there is any defects a baby pen na kha defects hiam bang hiam om kha hiam a hi lo wale I pyang le I mi phalo di hiam a hi lo le ama adinga a hinna adinga banga law vai hiam om hi lo le anu hinna adinga a hel ta dia a law vai om ya chi te vai te detect na dinga I hai technique pen kha ki jang chen anaw nge pen apian ma ama bangchida na gi ya jale a procedure tom chi ki endinga a procedure pen kha firstly ultrasound iji te zang a kha I a fetus omna pen ki ending engine allocation pen kha ki ending engine using a very thin needle nga tanga khat zang a waya anawngek allocations omna pela kha amniotic fluid ki chiom engine hai te pen kha neochik la khade hey amniotic fluid akila ki pen kha tamli lo only not more than 15 ml sa nga tamzalo de a quantity pen kha 15 sang a tamzalo de ma tomzalo le poilo why amniotic fluid pen kha kila khedin engine akila khat hitchang abangsa ka why amniotic fluid pen kila a jale because why amniotic fluid te pen kha there will be cells fetal cells anawngek cells pen bangza yam om kha de engine why anawngek cell bangza yam om kha pen kha a cell te pen kha they will be cultured ko ki culture te ai jale in vitro culturing is jamina outside the body but in the similar medium in the similar temperatures waya kha laboratory dia kha ki cell te ki culture di ya fetal cells te bangza ka ki culture ai jale for karyotyping chi changina a cells pen kha cell divisions se agriculture pen kha during cell divisions class 11 and sinkin tadiwa prophase metaphase anaphase chi dia oma during metaphase changa kha a chromosomes te pen kha they are very thick a chromosomes te a thick pen kha y hun pen kha ki arresting engine azo changa y chromosomes te pen kha pictures kila the engine and they will be arranged accordingly we know that in humans we have 46 chromosomes 23 pairs of chromosomes tun bang hai fetal cells pen bang human hitalia the chromosomes will be arranged accordingly tun bang chromosomes ya hai one pair of chromosomes here two pair ya le ba na china omdinga let's say this 2 pair 3 pair on the engine it will goes on till 23 na pen kha last chromosomes here karyotyping is jamina why cell ne agriculture pen kha it will be the cell divisions will be arrested and the chromosomes pictures will be taken and they will be arranged accordingly chromosomes 1 2 3 4 5 6 23 dana hi jam ki arranged engine bazaka ya ki hi ya jale why we are using why we are doing this then ja ka hon gen din a pen kha why might not have fetal cells pen kha I ga hon explain than dinga amniotic fluid pen kila hedinjin why amniotic fluid pen kha fetal cells bangza yang om de hai fetal cells pen kha again ta sa ma banga male gametes on engine female gametes on engine when these two fuse together it forms a single cell which we know it as zygote hey zygote pen kha single cell ichi boy mala hey zygote pen kha it undergoes divisions hey zygote pen kha hum ki divide the engine to form two by mitosis by the process of mitosis hai penam ki divide non the engine to form the hai ki divide non the to form the and it will keeps on dividing and many cells will be formed right so hai many cells form ki form te pen kha ya amniotic fluid neotic ilakya cha kha hai cells te bangza ham om kha ding engine hai cells te pen kha ki lahya engine it is cultured here and the cell divisions the chromosomes are taken picture and study of these chromosomes takes place yeah ya zygote ki form pen kha ya zygote ki form pen to ya cell ki la kha pen ya ideal pen kha they will be exactly the same morphologically as well as genetically as well as haite le ki bangchet di haite le ki bangchet because they are dividing by the process of mitosis to meiosis difference yatin kha mitosis we say that the offspring produced are morphologically and genetically identical each other. So the cells that we have taken out here would be exactly as that of the zygote, which is initially formed by fusions of these two gametes. So, bangsa hai ki why we are doing this technique, this amniocentesis technique for congenital defects. Congenital defects it is also known as chromosomal defects. A chromosomes are defects banga omhyang chi ma gai penka et ma hiya chromosomes 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 it will go on ya 23 22 21 ya 21 chromosomes na pena kha chromosomes 1 in kha 2 neidinjin ani na penile 2 chromosomes pair of chromosomes on back de bema together together it will be 23 into 2 is 46 chromosomes will be there. Human te ha 46 chromosomes dilebe hilile khen khat mi khen khat at the 21 na pena kha chromosomes ni om dilai kha thum hong mebe ya chromosomes thum hong om cha la bang chi ai cha le it is a condition which is known as trisomy. Ni om dilai kha thum om ma hai pen kha it is abnormalities amita ye trisomy te bang ki chi ai cha le they are suffering from a syndrome which is known as Down syndrome. Say pe chapter next chapter ti is sending he second sa ko hong gen ge ding ai hai Down syndrome te pen kha abnormalities area chromosomal abnormalities body wale defects hong om ding ma hai te pen kha in order to detect and identify such things, we are using amniocentesis. Next, why we are doing this is to determine the sex of the unborn baby. Hey process hey technique unborn baby the sex determine hey hey pen India ki phaloma tumbang sex determine no me last chromosomes 23 pen has 6 chromosomes here. A chromosomes te ki banglo hi saka nume hi de pasala hi ki thenjin India dai pen ki ban bang saka chale because when the parents know that the baby would be a girl child girl hi jana ha de abort anangi pen phatunjin that is known as female feticide. Unborn baby apian ma anumi ahi chi ati wale thatumo ai pen kha female feticide akichia. Because of this reason the government has done this technique ille Dr. Tencho ahi thawa ahi wale they will cover these 6 chromosomes agang tencho en sakli ha 6 chromosomes pen en saklo do 6 chromosomes pen kha 6 determinations pen kha if the chromosome is XX a chromosome pen XX ahi we know the baby would be a girl, and if the chromosome is XY, then the baby would be a boy. Sometimes there is some chromosomal defects. The 23 pair of chromosomes but in some individuals, instead of this is normal case, XX XY normal case there is 3 chromosomes XXY. Then the individuals is suffering from some syndromes which is known as Klinefelter's syndromes. Chapter danga sindine isakan sagon dina XX that means the individuals would be a boy. The boy would have characteristics that of a girl. Why X khat chok omle hile hai X khat khai ja khat chok ki gelong X o ki duma hai pen kha it is this condition is known as Turner Turner syndrome. Hey, Turner syndrome the individuals would be a girl. No major they would be sterile, secondary sexual characters because it is abnormal case. If the doctor detect such defects as trisomy, Down syndrome, Klinefelter's, Turner's, the doctor aman aphal ale, then the parents can undergo MTP. MTP is medical terminations of pregnancy. Now ni pelka apian maa terminate hidima lakhat chidiha thathi de bangzaka hey bangchuna ki phalde chale only if the baby pelka hong pian hitalele adam thina hoi lodi ahi lawale anudam thina hoi lodi achiwale a doctor tena they can kill or they can terminate the fetus. It is allowed only if the reason is reason penka anudam thina hian ata penma madam thina hian pena da hoi lowa le choa inki phaldima ilile tun bang a individual say that anawi penka normal, we are very normal just because if it is XX ata pen a fetus pen Hatnunnem he exact to termination body pen kachuki paloma, it is illegal pallo is here. Bangzaka pen ki palloa is because the sex ratio is imbalance. Balance low. Male sex ratio to female sex ratio low. For every populations 1,000 male banghiale numeka Tangpua 934. Balance low. If the male is 1,000, then the female also has to be 1,000. Like it should be 1:1, 2:2. A ratio in some state or in some country, populations, anime populations, 800 700 something. This shows that in some state, all these methods, female feticide, female infanticide, they are still practicing. Male sex to female sex ratio,